Former royal gardener Jack Stooks, who worked at Highgrove for over 20 years, shared that they both came into the relationship later in life. He thinks it is nice that they can maintain separate homes, allowing them to feel they each have a personal space. This arrangement means Camilla did not have to move into Highgrove, keeping her children connected to their own home. Whether this setup shows romantic independence or growing distance depends on your view of their relationship behind palace doors. The divorce home that never went away. Ray Mill House is a special property with a rich history. Queen Camilla bought Ray Mill House in 1996 after her divorce from Andrew Parker Bowles. This country estate serves as her retreat from royal life. She built her life around it. Her children grew up there, her dogs play in the gardens, and she has personally cared for its flower beds. It is the most important home she has ever known. Ray Mill is where she went after Queen Elizabeth's funeral and mourning period in September 2022. She spends as much time there as possible when she is not needed at Highgrove House or Clarence House in London. Even after becoming queen, she still returns to the house she bought after her divorce. In 2025, Camilla described gardening at Ray Mill as the best therapy in the world, noting, "We haven't had any rain though. I've never done so much watering in my life." It is a personal space for her, not a royal estate or property of the crown. Recently, something interesting happened. Camilla quietly transferred Ray Mill to her children's representatives. Her son-in-law, Harry Lopes, represents her daughter Laura, and financier Jake Irwin represents her son Tom. At the same time, King Charles, despite having access to many royal residences and owning 3 properties, has asked 2 senior palace staff members to help him buy a home next to Camilla's private retreat. He spent $3.8 million to ensure her privacy. An insider noted, "This arrangement is a smart financial move and a way to keep Her Majesty's privacy and enjoyment of her beloved home without using public funds. She is very grateful." A man buying a house near his wife while they live separately is an interesting situation. The cancer nobody wanted to talk about. In February 2024, Buckingham Palace announced that King Charles had cancer. The specific type was not mentioned, but it was found after he was treated for a benign prostate enlargement. This news shocked the nation. However, many don't know that the announcement almost didn't happen. Reports say that Queen Camilla wanted King Charles to keep his diagnosis a secret. She believed it should stay private to protect him from the pressure of public attention, which she thought could hurt his recovery. This shows how differently they view the situation. Charles, who prefers openness, chose to go public. Camilla, on the other hand, wanted to shield him. They disagreed, but he went ahead anyway. Almost 2 years after his diagnosis, Charles revealed that his treatment schedule would be reduced in 2026. He credited this to the early diagnosis, effective treatment, and following the doctor's advice. He called this milestone a personal blessing and highlighted improvements in cancer care that might inspire the 50% of people who will face a cancer diagnosis in their lives. While managing his health, Charles is also leading the country and dealing with family issues and a challenging marriage. Sources say he is focused on his health and responsibilities, while Camilla spends her time at Ray Mill. Instead of bringing them closer, his illness seems to have led to more distance between them. Queen Camilla has publicly spoken about cancer to support Charles since his updates. She has attended cancer charity events and shared her feelings about the disease, showing up when the media is watching. But many wonder what support means when they live apart. Both are carrying a heavy personal burden, which the public only sees through carefully managed appearances. The cancer has not broken their relationship, but it has changed how they connect. The divorced in everything but name bombshell. In September 2025, an anonymous source shared a story with Radar Online that caught the attention of the royal press. The claim was clear. Insiders said that Charles and Camilla are effectively divorced, even if they haven't officially separated. They live separate lives with different routines, homes, and priorities. The public only sees part of their reality. They act united in public, the insider said. But behind closed doors, things are quite different. Camilla spends most of her time at Ray Mill, while Charles stays at Highgrove or Clarence House. Their marriage is now more about appearances and public relations. The source continued, "They care for each other in their own way, but their marriage isn't what most would recognize. Now, it's the crown that keeps them together, not their relationship." It's important to be cautious with anonymous sources in royal news. The tabloid world thrives on such stories. However, this claim aligns with verifiable facts. They have separate homes, confirmed. They maintain different weekend routines, confirmed. They agreed before marriage to have independent spaces, confirmed. Camilla is quietly passing her property to her children, confirmed. And Charles spent millions on a house near hers, instead of living with her, confirmed. This anonymous claim didn't create a scandal. It just highlighted a pattern already visible. As one analysis pointed out, Charles and Camilla have separate routines, homes, and priorities. Even when they are together for official events, they often use separate bedrooms or living spaces. This is not unusual in royal history, but when added to their separate homes, it suggests a disconnect. They keep up appearances by attending state banquets, taking photos together, and going on diplomatic tours. The image matters. The monarchy needs to show stability, unity, and a positive image. At the core of this situation is a harsh truth. The monarchy is an institution, not just a family. Charles and Camilla understand this well. They dealt with 2 decades of public criticism about their relationship. They know how crucial it is to manage their image. Whether their marriage is thriving or just functional, they must present a united front. And they do that very well. The public front and the palace. Playbook. How do we understand warm public moments alongside the reality of a royal marriage? Let's look at what's happening. During the 2026 Commonwealth Day service at Westminster Abbey, a camera captured a friendly moment between Camilla and Princess Anne. As Camilla chatted, Charles gently reminded her to take her place. She acknowledged him and stood by his side. Royal fans praised this moment on social media, seeing a couple who shared warmth and comfort. In late March 2026, King Charles and Queen Camilla plan a major state visit to the United States for America's 250th birthday. They will spend 3 days in New York City and Washington, D.C. Charles might address Congress, becoming the first British monarch to do so since Queen Elizabeth in 1991. On the world stage, they appear united, polished, and important for diplomacy. In January 2026, Queen Camilla marked the 30th anniversary of Maggie's Cancer Center in Cheltenham. She met with cancer patients and listened to their experiences. This work is personal, especially considering her husband's health condition. These actions show that Charles and Camilla share purpose and values. However, it raises the question, do they have the kind of marriage they wanted? Former royal gardener Jack Stooks said, "It feels like a very considerate arrangement for everyone, and they clearly seem happy. Why change what works for them?" This reflects the reality of their marriage. It is not a dramatic crisis. It has transformed over time. They are 2 independent people, later in life, connected by love, duty, history, and the crown. They have their own spaces, but come together when needed to present a united front for the institution. Only Charles and Camilla know if their marriage is happy, lonely, or simply different. What happens next? Where does that leave us, and why is it important? King Charles is 77 years old and battling cancer. His treatment is lessening, which is a positive sign. However, he has publicly faced health issues for over 2 years, while the monarchy has been facing a challenging period. This includes dealing with Prince Harry's relocation, Prince Andrew's problems, tensions with Prince William, and the changes after Queen Elizabeth's passing. The pressure on him is extremely high. Charles has bought a property next to Camilla's Ray Mill house. This is the first time he has moved closer to her life instead of just accepting their distance. This could be a romantic gesture, showing his willingness to be near her, or it could just be an expensive way for a married couple to live separately. It might be a bit of both. Camilla has quietly transferred ownership of Ray Mill to her children's representatives. This may indicate she is planning her estate, protecting her independence, or something else. It is happening quietly without any publicity. One source described their situation. At this point, it's the crown that binds them, not the relationship itself. This may sound negative, but being bound by the crown is still significant. It is a strong connection in British life. Monarchs do not divorce. The history of Edward VIII, who abdicated the throne for love, has influenced every royal marriage since. Charles and Camilla are linked not only by their feelings but also by duty, history, and all the challenges they faced to be together. They waited 30 years for this. They endured Princess Diana's legacy, public scorn, 2 divorces, a cancer diagnosis, a fractured family, and the deaths of 2 monarchs. They stood together during the coronation and will likely appear together in Washington, D.C. this spring to address Congress, symbolizing a long-lasting alliance. Whatever is happening behind palace doors is clearly complicated. However, this marriage is not falling apart. It has evolved, changed, and formed into something that suits 2 people who have earned the right to do it their own way. Whether you view this situation as sad, romantic, practical, or royal depends on your belief about the purpose of love.